Well, the double murder trial against former TikToker Ali Abulaban is expected to wrap up this week.
Yeah, today in court, his mother took the stand, delivering, as you might imagine, emotional testimony.
A lot of what was presented in court today is tough to hear. The prosecution presented several audio and text messages Abulaban sent his wife. Many of them are so graphic, we can't share them in their entirety.
1 million followers, viral videos, fame. The blue light of a phone screen illuminates yet another aspiring content creator's rise to TikTok stardom. His impressions are flawless. Tony Montana's swagger, the distinctive voices of Skyrim characters, each video drawing hundreds of thousands of views.
What's up there? You can't hide from me.
The comments sections overflow with praise. Fans begging for more content from the creator known as Jinn Kid. Behind that name is Ali Abulaban. His beautiful wife Anna occasionally appears in his videos, her smile brightening the frame as she helps him film, or makes brief cameos that his fans adore. To his growing audience, they're the perfect couple. Talented, attractive, living the social media dream in a luxury San Diego high-rise. Oh, if only they knew. TikTok's algorithm can't detect the darkness lurking behind those carefully edited clips. It can't see the jealousy festering in Ali's mind, or hear the arguments that would soon be broadcast live to his followers. It can't warn anyone as his behavior grows more erratic, his live streams becoming increasingly concerning as he snorts this white powder on camera and publicly berates his wife. By 2021, the cracks in his curated online persona are beginning to show, and the man behind Jinn Kid is about to transform from social media celebrity to a convicted killer that now is behind bars for the rest of his life. The story begins in 2014, thousands of miles from the San Diego high-rise where it would end. On a military base in Okinawa, Japan, two young Air Force service members crossed paths. Anna, born and raised in the Philippines, captured attention effortlessly with her warmth and gentle spirit. Friends would later describe how she could brighten any room just by walking into it. Then there was Ali, charismatic, ambitious, always talking about his dreams of making it big in entertainment. Their romance bloomed quickly under the Japanese cherry blossoms. But even in those early days, Ali's darker side was lurking beneath the surface. His jealousy would flare up at the smallest things, his need for control manifesting in subtle ways. Then came the incident that would end his military career. Ali allegedly assaulted one of Anna's friends, leading to his discharge from the Air Force. It was the first clear warning sign of what was to come, but far from the last. With his military career over, Ali headed back to Virginia, while Anna returned to the Philippines. It might have ended there, but fate, or perhaps misfortune, had other plans. Anna discovered she was pregnant. Ali, seeing an opportunity to regain control, worked to secure her a visa to join him in the United States. Their daughter Amira was born, and the young family began building a life together while Ali chased his dreams of social media stardom. By 2019, those dreams were becoming reality. Ali's social media presence exploded, particularly on TikTok. His spot-on impressions of Tony Montana from Scarface became his calling card, earning him a devoted following that grew by the thousands. He'd spend hours perfecting his characters, obsessing over every detail until they were just right. And by 2021, Anna had convinced Ali to move to San Diego, where she had friends. She believed the move would benefit his budding entertainment career. After all, they were now closer to Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world. But as Ali's star rose, something shifted in their relationship. Anna's own social media following was growing, and Ali couldn't handle it. The man who could so perfectly mimic Tony Montana's swagger was now embodying the character's paranoia and rage. So, he started monitoring Anna's every move online, scrutinizing each like, each comment, each new follower. Any male interaction, no matter how innocent, would trigger his suspicions. He'd pace their luxury apartment, scrolling through her social media accounts, building elaborate theories of infidelity in his mind despite having zero evidence. The loving husband was disappearing, replaced by a controlling, jealous man who saw threats everywhere he looked. The abuse got worse throughout the 2021. Ali often recorded their fights and sent Anna threatening voice messages, accusing her of cheating. He used her immigration status against her, constantly reminding her that he was the reason she was in America.
I'll bring you to San Diego for what? So you can run to your friends?
Ali, give me my phone back.
Marriott Marquise. That's the place she had the birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're going?
I'm not going.
Luke's gonna be there.
I told you we're going to a hotel.
Yeah,
Luke
this is
not
the after
there.
party, and
Luke
you're
is
going.
not there.
Yeah?
Why do you think I can bring a kid?
Yeah?
Because nobody's there but girls, you stupid.
To her friends, it was clear he didn't see Anna as a partner. He saw her as something he owned. By October 2021, Anna had reached her breaking point. What started as yelling had turned into physical fights she could no longer ignore or explain away. She began documenting the abuse and even filed a police report detailing Ali's violent outbursts.
Standard emergency, this is dispatcher 8854.
Can you please send the police on 1475 Island Avenue?
Okay, what is your name?
My name's Anna Abulaban.
Are you having a fight with a spouse or a boyfriend?
Yes. And it's
Did he hit you?
It's physical. Yes, no.
Later, Ali would admit to hitting Anna, including punching her. But that barely scratched the surface of what she went through. The abuse wasn't hidden anymore. Ali's live streams had become proof of how he treated Anna. In one of them, still online for his nearly 1 million followers, Ali turned the camera on himself while Anna sat silently on the couch. Looking straight into the lens, he said, "Don't get married, guys. I threw my whole life away for her." His followers, unaware of what was really happening, sent messages of support, telling him to stay strong. Some even warned him about the police, advising him to keep quiet when they show up. After years of this, Anna finally told him their marriage was over, but she agreed to stay in their shared apartment with their daughter while Ali moved out. But for a man who had spent years controlling his wife, this separation wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was a total loss of power. And Ali was about to show just how dangerous he could be when that power slipped away. On the morning of October 21st, Ali made his first move. After Anna left to take their daughter to school, he used a copy of their electronic key to get into the apartment. He trashed the place, but more disturbingly, he planted a listening device on their daughter's iPad before leaving. This let him secretly listen in on Anna's conversations. When Anna got home and saw the mess, she called a friend. During the call, she said she planned to get a restraining order against Ali. She asked the friend to pick up her daughter from school so she could clean up, not wanting her child to see the destruction Ali had left behind. Anna then called her friend Rayburn Barron to help her clean up. Barron was 29, described by his family as the kind of person who would drop everything to help someone in need. But there was something else about Barron, something that had gotten under Ali's skin months earlier. At some point, Barron had made an offhand comment about how lucky Ali was to have a wife as beautiful as Anna. It was the kind of casual compliment that most people would brush off, but Ali had never forgotten it. He'd turned it over and over in his mind, letting it feed his paranoia. Now, through that listening device he'd hidden on his daughter's iPad, Ali heard a man's voice in the apartment. It was Barron talking with Anna as they cleaned. That was all it took. In Ali's mind, this was proof of everything he'd been imagining. What happened next was captured in the audio recordings on Ali's phone. He jumped in his car and raced to the apartment building. Security cameras caught him sprinting from the elevator to their door. He used the key he wasn't supposed to have anymore and burst inside. 1 second, that's all it took. 1 second from the moment he opened that door. The audio tells the rest of the story. The gunshots rang out almost immediately. He shot Barron again and again, and then, without missing a beat, turned the gun on Anna and shot her in the head. After this, he took photos of the bodies and sent them to his mother. He then picked up his 5-year-old daughter from school, telling her in the car, "I hurt Mommy." Police arrested him shortly after during a traffic stop. The trial started on May 1st, 2024, and went on for almost a month. Ali's lawyers tried to argue that the murders were a crime of passion, saying he had undiagnosed mental health issues and a cocaine addiction. They brought up his rough childhood and claimed he lost control when he saw his wife with another man. But the prosecution, led by Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brast, tore that argument apart. They laid out how Ali had planned everything in advance. He kept a key to the apartment, planted a listening device to spy on Anna, and showed up with a loaded gun. The moment he walked in, he fired within a second. That wasn't someone acting in the heat of the moment. It was cold, calculated murder.
There are certain factors with the defendant that I am obligated to take a look at. I acknowledge he has no prior record. I acknowledge the fact that at the time of this killing, he was suffering substance abuse and had some mental health issues. But I reject the fact that his childhood contributed to this at all.
There was a lot of evidence of it. Just hours before, Anna had texted Ali, making it clear she wanted nothing to do with him. The prosecution showed how his controlling behavior had escalated for months. He had even searched online for ways to get rid of a body. So, on May 29, 2024, the jury found Ali Abulaban guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder, along with special circumstance allegations of committing multiple murders. The conviction guaranteed he would spend the rest of his life behind bars. But that's not the end of the story. On September 6, 2024, the victims' families filled the courtroom, face to face with the man who had shattered their lives. Anna's sister spoke through tears, telling Ali that if she had known what her sister was going through, she would have done everything to save her.
And Ali, if I had known what my sister had been through with all that abuse, if I had known, if I had known, I would have flown again to see her and do my best to take her and the mirror away from you.
Anna's father, Ron Miller, wouldn't even acknowledge Ali as a man. He just said he hoped he rotted in prison.
I would love to see a sentence of life in prison without parole. This is what this guy needs. I don't consider him a man. A man would not do this. But I hope he gets life in prison without parole. I want him to rot in prison for what he done to my daughter. She was a beautiful, loving woman.
Barron's family described him as the heart of their home. His sister, Jordana, spoke about his dreams of having a family one day, dreams that were stolen forever.
He deserved a chance in this life. He always wanted to be a father and have a family and live a happy life. And all of that was robbed from him. What the defendant has done with this horrible crime has destroyed our family. Our holidays will never be the same because we are missing a big part of it. This grief and sadness will never be the same because we are missing a big part of it.
Then it was Ali's turn. Reading from a yellow notepad, he tried to apologize, but still blamed his actions on drug-induced psychosis.
I am so incredibly sorry to each and every one of you who have been affected by this. I cannot imagine the pain that I've caused your family. I saw the look on all your faces and the tears in your eyes, and I hate that I'm the reason for it. I was in the worst physical and mental state of my life. I was sick, suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis. My response in that moment was an unintended, impulsive reaction against my better judgment to the discovery of Ray's romantic involvement with my wife. And for that, I'm sorry.
He complained that the jury had decided his fate faster than the time he had spent testifying. He begged the judge for a second chance, saying a life sentence felt like being sent to hell. Judge Jeffrey Fraser didn't buy it. He called Ali a talented actor, pointing out how he played the role of a cold-blooded killer, just like the Scarface persona he idolized. And the tears he shed in court? The judge made it clear. They were for himself, for his own future, not for his victims. It all ended with 2 consecutive life sentences without parole, plus 50 more years for the gun charges. As Judge Fraser looked him in the eye and said, "You will die in prison," the courtroom broke into applause. That's a different kind of fame now.
The bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there.
Our hearts go out to Anna's family in the Philippines, where she was laid to rest in her hometown, and to Rayburn Barron's loved ones in Mexico, who lost a son, brother, and friend. But most of all, we think of young Amira, who lost both parents that day, one to violence and the other to justice.